Stem and leaf diagram, grade C, GCSE, level 7 national curriculum. Okay, now this is a particularly straightforward version of a stem and leaf diagram. You're asked to draw an ordered one. We always should start with an unordered one. You're given clues here because it's been set out for you with a grid and a key box. That's not always the case, so you've got to be aware that how to set this out. So to start with, we should just do the values that we've got here. So we look at what the tens are. We've got an 18, 16 is the smallest, I think, and then we've got it going up to 48, so I can't see any 50s. So we're going to go, the stems will be everything apart from the last digit. The last digit is the leaf, so the 6, the 8, the 7, the 8, they're all going to go in this part here. And anything that's not that last digit has to go over this side in what we call the stem. So in this case, we've got the smallest stem is going to be a 1 to represent 10s, 2 for 20s, 3 for 30s, 4 for 40s. Okay, let's just rub those out and then we can go through these one at a time. Now, quite often I see students just try to go through and pick out all the 10s, all the 20s, all the 30s. You really shouldn't do that in an exam. It's too easy to make a mistake. So start with the first one, so 36, we write down as a 6 next to the 3. 48 is an 8 next to the 4, 18 is an 8 next to the 1. Try and keep your numbers lined up. 25, so that's 1 in each column. And now we're going to double them up. So 36, a 3 and another 6. So that 6 there represents a 3 and a 6. This 6 is a 3 and a 6. They're separate 6s. 28, 2 and 8, 28. 45, 4 and 5, 45. 3 and 0. 3 and 8, 2 and 7, 4 and 1, 1 and 6, didn't cross that one out, 3 and 6, 4 and 8, 2 and 8, and the last one, 2, 21. Okay, so that's unordered. That would give you 1 mark for doing it unordered, and then we just got to change it so the order is correct. So 8 and 6, well, we need to change that around so it's 6 and 8 because we've got 16 and 18. And then we've got to have the 1 at the front, so 21, then a 5, 25, then a 7, and then 2 more 8s. Try and keep your numbers nicely separated so they're in separate columns. Do not put commas on here, although I don't think you would be penalised for putting commas. You shouldn't be anything in between the numbers because each digit represents a separate number, and that we should know that. So 0 for 30, 3 6s and an 8, and then we've got a 1, a 5 and 2 8s. Okay, so that's 2 marks for that, 1 mark for the key. I usually just pick the first thing that's written on here, so 1/1/6 equals, in this case, 16. That could be like 1.6 or 0.16, but in this case it's just a nice simple 16. Now that's the end of that question, but quite often these sort of questions you may be then asked, if you haven't been asked to draw the stem and leaf diagram, you're asked to interpret it. So you may be asked what's the modal value, or what's the mode from the stem and leaf diagram. So you'd be looking for the most common number. And looking at this, you might be thinking that the 8 appears the most, but they're not all the same 8. That 8 is 18, this 8 is 28, this 8 is 38, and these 8s are 48. So you're looking for the number that appears the most next to each other, so in the same row. So these 6s, there's 3 of these 6s, and each one of those represent 36. So 36 would be the most common number, so the mode. And then if we were asked to find the range, which is quite a common thing, we have the smallest number is 16, the largest number is 48. So we'd have 48 take away 16. And if we want to find the median, we could then work this out by cancelling, crossing from the smallest and the largest until we get to the middle to find the middle value, wherever that is. And those are the sort of calculations that can come from stem and leaf diagrams. But this question is just about drawing one, and it's worth 3 marks.